NFC East is still up for grabs. It's still up for grabs not only between two teams, it's up for grabs between three teams. And you know what the saddest thing about the NFC East is? Is that a team that is 6-10 could possibly make the playoffs. Like, the best record that the NFC East representative will have will be 7-9. 7-9. When's the last time we saw a 7-9 team win a division? I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it was when Seattle was 7-9 and the Marshawn Lynch beast mode run happened against New Orleans that shook the world and shook everyone around them. I believe that was it. But let's look at the scenario first. So Washington plays the Eagles. Eagles have already been eliminated from the playoffs. Dallas will play the New York Giants. Okay. So Washington wins, they're in. That's it. I don't know if they're going to win, though, because they got Dwayne Haskins, who's been playing terrible. Next, Dallas, if they win and Washington loses, Dallas is in. But if the Giants win and Washington loses, the Giants are in. Now, if Dallas and Washington both, if they win their games, they'll be 7-9. We've seen a 7-9 team make the playoffs, so I'm not going to be too upset about it, but I'll go into it later what I think should change. If the Giants are 6-10, they make the playoffs. Like, if this is, it's just so crazy to see a 6-10 team could possibly make the playoffs. 6-10. What are we talking about now? 6-10. This is my issue. The NFL will never get rid of division winners. Like, it's never going to be in anytime soon, like maybe next 3 to 5 years, where they'll say, screw division winners. It's going to be, based on your record period. They're never going to do that. They're going to still hold the value of winning your division. Like with hockey and basketball, they have a setup where, yeah, you can win like your division. That's cool and all. But we're still going to at least have the seeding based on record. And I love that. Like, that's really what I think the seeding should be. Like, NFL will still go with division, and it's going to be like that probably for at minimum next 5-10 years. Probably minimum 5. My thing is that one of these teams will get a home game. That's my problem. The fact that is that Washington could be 6-10, or the Giants could be 6-10, or Dallas could be 7-9, because that's the only way that they will make the playoffs is 7-9, and they're going to get a home game. Let's just read off some teams that just have a better record than these teams. Let's just read them off. The Bears. And let's see. The Rams. The Cardinals. Some of those, like the Cardinals and the Rams, like they could possibly, like both of them could miss out on the playoffs. Or no, sorry, not both of them. One of them could miss out on the playoffs. Next, the Bears. They could miss out on the playoffs. So, those are the three teams. Like, personally, I think Minnesota is better than all those teams, but they've already been mathematically eliminated. And I honestly think a healthy San Francisco, healthier, would be better than those teams, because they're 6-9. So now, my thing is this. It should be cool. You win your division, you're in the playoffs, fine. I see that still happening. They're never gonna they're not gonna rearrange the divisions like they used to back in the day, years ago. Like they're not gonna do that. But they really should look into seeding. Like whoever wins the NFC East should have been the last seed and does not deserve a home game. Like they just don't. That's my problem. And I get this has happened before. I understand that this has happened. But the fact of the matter is that we're really going to screw over a team of a home game when they have a better record than the team that they're playing. Like, when you go to the playoffs, besides, I get wild card weekends, whatever, but it really should be about best record. Like NBA playoffs, the higher seed with obviously the better record gets more home games if they play a full 7-game series, and they get the first, and their games are the first ones at home. Hockey playoffs, same thing. Baseball playoffs, same thing. Why is it? But they still have the division winners. I get that, but still, like, why is it that NFL, if they win a division, they're stuck? Like, now Washington, if they win a division, they get a home game. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't really see the situation why that has to happen. And I know that Washington, I'm not saying that they shouldn't, I just don't think it's right. I think the fact of the matter is, what are we saying? We're saying Washington is worth a home game over the Rams, over the Bears if they make the playoffs, over the Cardinals if they make the playoffs. Like, they really deserve it at possibly 6-10? No, they don't. I'm not trying to be mean, Washington fans, Giants fans, Cowboys fans. I'm not trying to be mean to any of your teams. But what I'm saying is your teams don't deserve a home game in the playoffs. Like, your teams stink. I'm sorry, they suck. Like, they are terrible. Like, it's the fact of the matter is, like, we literally are possibly going to have a 6-10 team in the playoffs. I don't think that's ever been done. Ever. Like, ever. I don't think that's ever been done in NFL history. And if it has been done where 6-10 has won a division and been in the playoffs because of the division win, maybe, I don't know how wild card is, I don't know how it was back in the day, but a division winner made the playoffs at 6-10. Please, somebody let me know. Because there's no way that they should at least be given a home game. No way they should be given a home game, for that matter. Division winner, fine. Division's terrible, you're terrible, fine. But a home game, no. That's inexcusable. The NFL will never fix it. I don't know if they ever will. But at least get rid of the home game for the division winner. Because I think it should really come down to record when it comes to who gets what game. Because it's like, is it really like the Bears' fault that they have a better record than Washington, but they may possibly play Washington at Washington? You know, like, is it really the Bears' fault or the Rams' fault? No, it's Washington. Like, they stink. So NFL really should change that rule. I don't know if they ever will, but at least they should change the seeding up to where, hey, cool, you won your division, but your record was way worse than your opponent. They get the home game. That's personally how I think it should happen for the NFL going forward.